Hello, friends and neighbors, and welcome to episode 36 of Ray and Benny Talk Sports. We're coming off an amazing sports weekend, a great weekend of CFL action. So we'll look at the good, the bad, and the ugly of CFL Week 1. We'll also get into some Bomber talk. Look at that nail-biter against the Ottawa Redblacks. Man, that was crazy to be there, and that was a close game.
Yeah, fun time in that stadium, banner raising, but yeah, way too close that game.
Yeah. We're going to talk about a couple things in that game. And of course, we're going to look at the NBA Finals very quickly and a couple other things. But let's start off with the Stanley Cup Preview. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button or follow us on your favorite podcast provider. Leave a like, leave a comment. Tell us what you think. Benny, where can they find us on social media, brother?
You can find us, Ray Benny Sports. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
All righty, here we go, man. When we started this podcast, we started off pretty quickly with NHL predictions. My Stanley Cup final predictions were the Lightning and the Jets.
Yeah, mine were Colorado and the Islanders.
Yay, team. So one of us got one. That's the way we do. Yeah. That's the way we do on Ray and Benny Talk Sports. So yes, the finals are finally here, and we have a matchup that a lot of the pros or the experts took from day one, of course, with the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Colorado Avalanche. This is a good matchup, bro. You know, I guess we'll see if Colorado takes that next step or if the Lightning put that stone in that dynasty.
Yeah, it should be a really good matchup with these two teams, two high-powered teams, two teams with some good D. Tampa's got the better goalie. So that could be the
hands down. It's not even close, brother.
That could be the biggest difference in the whole series. But yeah, it's the kind of series that most fans predicted at the beginning of the year. I know my conference final had Islanders Tampa, and I stuck with the Islanders, thinking they'd finally take that next step. They didn't even make the playoffs.
Well, the first 14 games on the road were tough, bro.
Yeah, it was a rough thing. Firing Barry Trotz.
Yeah, still making a decision.
Yeah, to me, it's going to come down to goaltending, I think.
Yeah, and it's funny that we say goaltending because, yes, Vasilevsky, he's all-world, amazing goalie, probably the best goalie in the league. Yeah. But in regards to goals against, Colorado was third at 286. Tampa Bay second at 241.
Was that in the playoffs or in the season?
Playoffs.
Yeah.
So they're doing something well in Colorado too.
Yeah, I mean but the save percentage isn't great for even I'm going to say it wrong. Francouz, yeah.
Francouz,
that's it. And Kemper, so
they're not solid.
And Tampa just brings it. They're coming at you. Just like Colorado's going to bring it, and Colorado's going to test out Vasi quite a bit. Yeah, and Vasi's going to have to be on his game. Vasi wasn't great against the Rangers the first couple of games, but then once he gets dialed in, it's like he's on a totally whole different level, and he's tough to beat. So, yeah, those big guns for Colorado are going to have to keep it going. McKinnon, Landeskog, losing Kadri is gonna hurt. Hopefully they can get him back. Yeah, Braden Point is probably back for Tampa Bay. So, yeah. That'll be
I said dynasty earlier. Am I just throwing that around too much? Are they at the level of the Islanders or the Oilers of the early 80s? Can we say them in the same breath as the Detroit team in the 90s? Are they a dynasty if they win this one?
Yeah, if they win this one, for sure, they're a dynasty. Speaking of the Islanders of the 80s, Gretzky actually compared them to the Islanders of the 80s. And some Islanders players from the 80s teams actually agreed with that and said that's a good assessment. So they're definitely there if they win this third one in a row. They're definitely that dynasty level. Yeah, and it's like hard to say who's going to stop them next year again, right?
Yeah, if Colorado can't stop them, who can?
No, exactly.
And Colorado's a strong team, man. They definitely have a better top six.
Yeah, for sure.
On paper, they have a much better top six than the Lightning do. I'd say the Lightning probably have a better defense on paper.
Yeah, having Girard hurt for Colorado, that kind of helps them out a bit. Cale Makar is probably the better of the defenseman, but Hedman's a steady guy.
Cale Makar, man, that guy. Whenever you can say the name Bobby Orr in any way comparable, that's pretty good. 22 points in 14 games? Come on, dude.
How old is he?
24?
Yeah. Is he even that old?
Maybe, yeah.
Trying to
No
think.
doubt.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, we saw in that Rangers series, Rangers were up 2-0 in the series, 2-0 in game 3.
Man.
And they left that door open a little bit, and Tampa just burst through it and took the series, right?
Yeah.
Colorado, if they got Tampa down, they got to find a way to finish them off.
Absolutely.
Don't leave them any chance, because Tampa Bay just, it's like they figure it out. It's like, okay, this is how the way we got to play, and then they take over a series. But I expect Tampa in game 1 at least to be the better team. Colorado's been sitting around for a bit of time here, so
yeah. Are they on 8 days rest?
Yeah, it feels like it's been a while. And then, when does the series actually start? It doesn't start.
They swept Edmonton, so they've been resting nice and long. Yeah,
and then 2 more days before the series starts. So.
Oh yeah.
So Wednesday. So.
Yeah, we're talking about defense. How about Zach Bogosian? He's been having a solid playoffs in Tampa. Like he's actually. Did he have a ring with Pittsburgh?
No, he ended up getting with Tampa, I think, a couple seasons ago.
Oh, with Tampa, yeah.
And then he went to Toronto last year, I believe.
Oh, that's right.
Didn't get a ring there, though.
And no one said he wasn't a solid player when he was with the Jets. There were just issues that we don't know about that happened.
Yeah, he wasn't a top pairing guy. And in Winnipeg, he was expected to be that top pairing guy. I know he was drafted high, but he's that guy. He can be a steady 6th or whatever kind of guy on that bottom pair and be perfectly fine, right? Like, you don't hear his name for anything good or anything bad right now. He's just steady enough to get the job done. But he was always a bit of a fan favorite. Didn't end well in Winnipeg, I guess, just with all the stuff that went on. And then he got shipped out with Evander Kane to Buffalo. Yeah. So,
well, let's talk about who we think is going to take this series, because that's what it comes down to when we're doing a preview of the Stanley Cup playoffs. And of course, we got to bring back the coin. Yeah, the coin's going to go back, and it's actually coin's making a physical appearance this week.
There he is.
So y'all on the podcast, y'all can't see the coin, but the coin is there. The coin is going to make a choice. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I mean, I picked Colorado to win the Stanley Cup at the beginning of the season. Mm-hmm. I'm going to stick with them. I think this thing will go 7. I'm hoping it goes 7 because I think it'll be a fantastic series. So,
yeah,
I'm going to go Colorado. I still think Vasi, you never know, but Colorado in 7 for me.
Colorado in 7. Man, Colorado, like, in every 5-on-5 stat, it leans very heavily in Colorado's favor, except for the save percentage, of course. Colorado is the second-ranked power play in the playoffs to Lightning's 8th. It's really tough to go against them, but I went against the Lightning last round after I picked him at the beginning. I went with the Rangers, and look what they did to me. And and to be honest, I'm a little trigger shy when it comes to making predictions these days, bro. I've had a rough go changing my mind here and there, and going with my heart and not with my head. So I'm gonna stick with the Lightning. I'm gonna take the Lightning in 6.
All right.
I think that forecheck for the Lightning is just going to be a bit too much, although the speed from Colorado might balance that out. But I'll take the experience and Vasilevsky in 6.
All right.
What you got,
Coin? Coin got? So
what you got, Coin?
Heads is Colorado, tails is Tampa, right?
Heads Colorado, tails Tampa.
Am I going to drop the quarter?
Don't drop it.
Caught it. Can anyone see it? No, you can't see it. It is heads.
Heads, the home team. Colorado. That's Colorado.
Yeah.
Good for you, Coin. Last pick, going for the favorite. Coin will go back in its box until CFL playoffs.
Yeah, it'll be a bit. Put him away for a bit.
Yeah, Coin's had a bad NFL, bad NHL playoffs. Coin needs to go to bed. He needs to hibernate.
Yeah.
Coin needs to hibernate.
He needs to think.
Yeah, exactly. So there's your picks. I got Tampa Bay in 6. Benny got Colorado Avalanche in 7. Coin is siding with Benny and taking the Avalanche. It's going to be a good series no matter what.
Yeah, I think it'll be a dandy.
Let's go on to CFL and let's talk about dandy of a game we had in Winnipeg here. I was pretty confident going into this game. Yeah. And it did not come out though. I think last week I talked about you got to contain Mazzoli and limit the chunk plays. They did neither, bro.
Nope.
They did neither. And I get it, it's week 1, but they did neither.
No. Yeah, I expected Ottawa to come out strong, play them tough. Lapo knows, the Bomber offense. He knows the team.
Clearly.
So that even things up, or close to even things out, but I still expected that championship pedigree of the Bombers to come out and win this game.
Yeah.
And I guess it did at the end, kind of. But yeah, it's a bit concerning. I mean, again, you're saying it's week 1. Let's not overreact here, right? Mm-hmm. Missing Jeff Coat on that D line didn't help. We weren't getting any pressure on Mazzoli.
That was huge, bigger of a deal than I thought it would be.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at that. We sacked Mazzoli once, I think. Donald Rutledge, pretty good game by him, actually.
He was straight up beasting.
Yeah. So it didn't help the pass rush. The lack of pass rush did not help our DBs at all. Yeah. Winston Rose did not look good. Yeah. Beaten 3 times.
Glass didn't look too good.
Glass got beat. Thank God Ackland dropped that one long bomb early in the game
field. In the middle of the field.
Yeah. That's probably a sure TD, right? So yeah. Glass got burned. Glass got, that PI call, the TD call. So, and then Malcolm Thompson is rough as well. Had another rough outing, but for him, I can give him a bit of a break there because, it's his first real start. Yeah. New team and all that stuff. But Winston Rose, I'll give Winston Rose a benefit of the doubt. He's coming off an injury. So maybe that plays part of the factor into it. But we'll see. Week 2 will be interesting again because they're playing Ottawa again.
Yeah.
It's a good old CFL schedule.
It's a pretty unsuccessful week for defenses around the league, to be honest with you. Yeah. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing for TV. It shows you what exhibition games can do. And it also shows you probably what the lack of exhibition time can do for a team.
Yeah.
The Ottawa defensive line looked amazing, especially in the teeth in the middle. Coleman and Lang, they're just busting up whatever was going on. No running game.
27 yards total. That's no running game for sure.
That's a huge concern. Yeah. And again, yes, I said it was week 1, but when you can't get a running game, when that's the strength of your offense, that's an issue.
Yeah.
That's an issue.
Yeah, for sure. 27 yards. I mean, I think they had about 16 carries, so that's terrible yardage on that. Claros only had 188 yards.
Yeah.
And a lot of it, I think he was under 100 for at least probably the first half or beyond that, so nothing great there. We almost got Paul Lapalese being a head coach, often in games makes mistakes, or his teams makes mistakes. The misplay at the end of the first half where they ran out the clock on themselves.
Your field goal, bro.
Field goal range.
Come on.
Another sure INT was dropped by someone. I can't remember the name here. I didn't end up writing it down. But so Ottawa drops an INT that Claros threw right to the guy.
Yeah.
So Bombers got a bit lucky in this game as well.
Yeah. Ottawa should have won this game. They could have won this game. Without a shadow of doubt, the time of possession was in favor of Ottawa. The yards, like 380 for Mazzoli.
Yeah, that's not good. And the one thing you said about the Bombers D, it bent, but it didn't end up breaking. They shut things down when they needed to, keeping Ottawa out and giving the Bombers offense a chance to respond and score and put enough drives on. And then, of course, that kicking game for the Bombers.
Before we get into the kickers, let's finish off with this offense here. Let's finish off with this offense. I never thought that Collaros really got into a rhythm at all. No. He never got his feet set to throw the ball. They never got any momentum going. And I get it. Lapone knows the core of this offense, but there was no motion. No movement on the line. Where was Janarian Grant? I thought they were going to try to use him a little more. Where was Nip Dembski in motion and pitches? It was very vanilla. It still felt like they're in preseason mode.
Yeah, there wasn't much excitement on that at all. We had a couple of nice plays. Ellingson looked good in his debut, got the touchdown.
Yep.
74 yards. And on that touchdown, he showed his big body on that touchdown, just blocking anything out behind him and just catching that ball.
Yeah, just stand there.
Yeah, Dalton Schoen looked good. I know he did fumble, but he looked good on his plays, 5 for 69. And really the only good thing that we had out of our running backs was that play early in the game by Oliveira, where Collaros was scrambling and did the pitch out to Oliveira.
Yeah.
It was like a Harris-esque kind of play that, that Harris chewed up a lot of yards on. finding that open space. And it was cool to see Olivier do that. And you're thinking, okay, this is good. We'll see this the rest of the game. But unfortunately, all that fizzled. So
yeah,
I agree. I think our O-line didn't give Claus enough time, which is, I mean, again, week one, but it's concerning that they couldn't block. They couldn't open holes because, I mean, everyone's returning but Jeff Gray, right?
Yeah.
So
exactly.
So you're hoping for a better result, and maybe the Bombers will come out in Ottawa next game and show them what kind of championship medal they are. But
it's a work in progress. Work in progress, and Ottawa's going to go in with confidence as well.
Yeah, for
Ottawa's
sure.
no joke. They can't. No. Darvin Adams played a solid game.
Yeah, he looked good.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Mazzoli was with. I mean, they had the long game, but they were using the width of the field.
Absolutely.
Too, right? They're waiting for that receiver to do a quick out and then just hitting them wide, and Bombers couldn't handle it. And, on first down, they were getting at least 8 yards, on those plays, and then making it an easy conversion on second down.
Let's talk about kicking.
That Bomber TD, we were sitting there in that stadium, and I was thinking it, okay, this is a critical kick. And then you said it, and then I'm like, why did you say it? And then he misses the kick. Not that had a factor in it, but he botched that one terribly. But, he redeemed himself later. But, again, Bombers are setting themselves up with this kicking game to be, again, interesting, I guess you can say. They had a botched snap earlier by Prukop that ended up being a first down, and I guess led to a shorter leg field goal at least. But even watching him set up from that 40, whatever it was, something before Prukop messed up that snap, you're thinking, you know what, I'm thinking 9 out of 10, he misses this one, right? I have no confidence in the guy hitting anything. So it's going to be an issue again.
Yeah, last week I said that was the last time I was going to go in on kicking. So let's move on to the good, the bad, and the ugly of the CFL in week one. We created some headlines with the theme of the good, the bad, and the ugly pertaining to some CFL action. So let's start off with the good. You got to start off with the good. What's your good, brother?
My good. BC packs the place and destroys the Elks.
Yeah, bruh.
What a crowd, man.
That crowd was awesome. That event was awesome. I hope Larry Tannenbaum's taking notes, bro.
He's not.
Toronto, take notes. That's how you do. You get involved. You engage a young audience. You make it an event to come to.
Yeah, the guy said, Tannenbaum said Vancouver, BC, Montreal, and Toronto not attracting the young fans. Well, BC did it. And BC, they opened their upper deck, which they haven't done in a long time. And the only reason they had to stop selling tickets is because they didn't have enough people working the concession stands, and they didn't want people standing in line forever. They probably could have sold more.
Absolutely.
And they're already well on their way for their second game. Again, making it a place to be kind of thing, right? It's not just a football game. You're drawing in fans and getting in new fans and make it, kind of a party atmosphere or whatever they're doing there.
Yeah.
Follow that, Toronto. Montreal, follow that,
Yeah. You have to spend money to make money.
Exactly. You have to get out there.
You're losing your old school fans.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. I'm sure some of it is some of the older audience don't want to come back post-pandemic. They've already done other things now without the CFL. And so you got to get the new fans in, and you got to spend that money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so they did it right, man. And then they went out and destroyed the Elks.
Yeah, let's talk about the good with the Canadian Lion Roars. That's what I'm calling that Nathan Rourke right now. Only in week one, though. I don't think this is going to be a huge uptake in Canadian QBs coming to the CFL after week one. Don't get me wrong, but man, 26 for 29, 282, 3 touchdowns throwing, 0 interceptions, rushed 7 times, 78 yards, 2 majors, and an 89% passing percentage, 89 passing, whatever it is. That's a good performance for any quarterback.
Yeah, fantastic.
Great performance for a young Canadian quarterback.
Yeah.
So congrats to him, man.
Yeah. Sheesh. Can I change my prediction on the Elks finishing third?
Nope.
Because that D for Edmonton did not look good at all.
No, they looked horrible, man.
And maybe that helped work out in this first game, but I mean, James Butler, the running back there, man, he went off too.
Oh,
4 TDs total for that guy.
Goodness.
And over 100 yards rushing.
Edmonton looked horrible. Like talk about the bad. Oh, they couldn't get anything going, and I get it. They're young. They didn't have some of their starters, but Chris Jones got a lot of work to do. Like there are some fundamental tackling mistakes being made on the field. I get that it happens, but way too many.
There was that one Butler touchdown where they brought the blitz, and they probably could have, most of the guys were not close to Butler, but there was a couple that were close, and they probably should have still tackled him, and he still broke through and got the touchdown. It's just like, ugh.
Yeah,
that's not the Chris Jones D's I've been expecting to see when they play. So
yeah, like you mentioned earlier about the schedule. I don't mind the back-to-back to Ottawa. I don't mind. What I do mind is having a team having a bye in week 2.
Yeah,
especially a team like BC trying to get thing. That's right. Yeah, you don't have a 10th team.
Yeah. Toronto had a bye in week 1, right? So,
jeez, my goodness.
Yeah, it'd be nice if they can get that 10th team in there and never have to have an odd number of teams.
How do they do that? How do they do that? You know what? Why don't they have a regional team? Not just Halifax or, not just St. John's. Have them one season play in this stadium in Atlantic Canada. One, so they're traveling kind of and representing the whole region.
Yeah, does it build up enough of a fan base to keep them going every year or what?
Why not? They're pretty close to each other, those cities, Yeah. Why not? You have people in Saskatchewan driving. Actually, well, you don't have people in Saskatchewan driving, right?
No. Price of gas, man, is killer.
Talk about the bad, bro.
And that's where my bad is. Attendance suffers in Winnipeg, Saskatchewan, and Calgary.
Yeah.
And we know Winnipeg. Winnipeg's, which I don't understand at this point. You're back-to-back champions. Fill that place up. Who knows what's going on? Saskatchewan's always been a place that's been full. But like you say, a lot of people travel from outside the city, Saskatoon to Regina, or wherever, Moose Jaw to Regina. And now it gets a little bit more expensive, right, with gas prices. So maybe that's a bit of a factor in their attendance down.
Yeah. Calgary
game was on a Thursday. I know they're announced over 20, but from reports and watching on TV, it seemed like under. Man. So a bit concerning on that end. Again, so we'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks. But
it's the facts of life. It's what life is. Without a doubt, gas prices have something to do with it.
Yeah, gas prices. A lot of stuff's been going on the last 2 years, man.
Who wants to drive from Brandon to Winnipeg? $90? $90, bro. Come on now.
I just drove to Regina a couple weekends ago, and it cost me probably $200 just to get there in gas. So
yeah,
I know that's a bit farther than the Brandon drive, but
yeah, the Bombers have to either get a free bus. Like I know there used to be a Bomber bus from Brandon, like $30, which still is pretty good.
Yeah,
you're not spending that money on gas, and you can have a couple drinks and not worry about it.
Then the other thing is for that. I mean, unless you're staying in Winnipeg, which is another cost, you're driving back at, this game was after 11 when it ended or close to 11 or maybe just before 11. So it's still 2 hours on your way back. So you're not getting home till 1 o'clock. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Take the bus.
Tough. Yeah.
Because, if it's because gas costs, if that's the issue, it's cheaper to take the bus.
Yeah.
Although
spread
not
the cost out from everyone on that bus. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. I hope they get figured out because it is too bad coming back with a full season, not having those stadiums full.
Yeah, you want to see it, especially in the places that always had them full. You want to see it at least still going there, and you want to see the other ones somehow increase it, like BC, right? So
yeah. Well, we got weeks. We get the momentum going in BC, hopefully. Let's talk about the ugly. My ugly is these hits to the head that these refs are missing. Specifically, the one on Dalton Schoen, which was a clear target to the head by the Ottawa player. And the one by Simone Lawrence. This guy is just ridiculous. Like, again, in Saskatchewan, the first time it was Caleros, when he clearly targeted his head on the way down. And this again on Fajardo to the back of the head. Like, they got to get rid of it. Get rid of it. This guy has to sit a game or 2. He's a repeat offender, and this is dangerous. Got to get it out.
Time. That was terrible. And Fajardo was already sliding down. He was down, basically. He slid feet first. Unlike the Claros hit, unfortunately, Claros decided to dive head first. Yeah, but even to me, that hit was still terrible by the Ottawa player.
It's very low to the ground.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have much real estate to hit. Chances are you're going to hit the guy's head either way.
Yeah. And in the Bomber game, we were sitting there going, okay, Claros needs to be almost taken out because you could see he was in rough shape right after that hit. I had no issues with him being taken out for those 3 plays.
No way. No, there's no reason to have issue with that.
No. And just a quick mention, because we didn't mention him, Drew Brown, great job coming in, leading that field goal drive for the lead and the win.
The good.
Yes. Yeah. But I had no problem with that. Unfortunately, with the Fajardo one, again, though, where were these spotters on that one?
That should be automatically you got to go.
Hit to the head, and I know it sucks for Saskatchewan. You got to lose your starting quarterback, but the Bombers had to lose it too, and it worked out in their favor. And at that point, you know what? You got to make sure the player's okay before saying, "Hey, just go out there and throw another pass," kind of thing.
Yeah,
so, consistency, man.
Yeah, it upsets me, man. It upsets me. Let's do a little bit of something, just because he was a favorite player of mine with the Bombers, Kahari Jones. How's the Kahari watch going after this week, bro?
Probably not good. They did lose William Stanback to injury, and then now he's out for 6 games at least, maybe more.
Doesn't help. Yeah.
Because he fractured his ankle, so he got surgery on it.
6 weeks.
At least he's on that 6-game injured list, but they're not sure for sure. You had a 10-point lead going in a half. Second half, you only managed to score 3 points. I know losing your starting running back probably doesn't help. Vernon Adams had an okay game, but still threw 2 interceptions. Yeah. You know, so and the owner of Montreal came out and already said he expects better things from the Owls this season, and if things aren't going by mid-season how he expects him to be, there's going to be some changes. So that doesn't help Kahari, especially having that.
What's the purpose of that, dude? What is the purpose of that? Especially in the CFL, when you're always in the contention until you're actually mathematically out. Why would you open your mouth and say stupid garbage like that?
Yeah, it's terrible.
What, the player's going to play better now?
Yeah.
The coach is going to feel comfortable now? Like,
no. It just puts everyone on the edge of their seat and makes them worry, man, if I make mistakes. Yeah. And another thing in that game, Montreal had 5 turnovers. You're not going to win many games when you turn over the ball 5 times, man, at all. So,
no.
So, yeah, as much as I want to see Kahari succeed, that's not a good first start. I mean, all the teams in the East ended up losing, right?
Which was expected.
Well, not Hamilton. I didn't expect them to freaking lose.
Where were they playing?
Saskatchewan.
Yeah, man. Why wouldn't they win? Man, come on. Saskatchewan is a good team. Yeah. You're not loving Saskatchewan this year, right?
I'm not, but I expected Hamilton. I expected Hamilton to be better. Saskatchewan had a decent game. Their D was actually way better than I expected. Fajardo was okay. Yeah. They settled for a lot of field goals in that game. So Dane Evans was terrible. 2 INTs, 2 fumbles. Hamilton's O-line was terrible.
Yeah.
8. What was it? 8 sacks? Yeah, 8 sacks. And then 6 Hamilton turnovers. Every team that lost this weekend lost that turnover battle. Yeah. Except for I think Ottawa and Winnipeg were even. But
other than the BC, were they even? Other than the BC,
yeah, I think so.
Other than that BC offense, none of the offenses looked particularly impressive.
No.
And considering that week 1, people are still putting up 30. Like the Bomber game, the lowest scoring one.
Yep.
Yeah, people are still putting up 30, 25. So
yeah, Saskatchewan scored 2 late TDs off of turnovers or whatever. Otherwise, they were settling for a lot of field goals. So Hamilton's D was actually doing a decent job. And I think one of the turnovers for Hamilton ended up being on their 1-yard line. So easy touchdown for Saskatchewan there. So Hamilton's D still seems decent enough.
Of course. Yeah, that D line is strong.
Ooh, that offense.
Well, we'll see about Dane Evans. Don't forget to join us later on this week for our movie CFL matchups of the week, where we go and look at each matchup and give it a movie title, like an actual movie title from a real movie. And we to break it down of how those games will go. So don't forget to check us out then. Smash that subscribe button. Leave a like. Leave a comment. Don't forget to leave your movie title matchup predictions. Pretty good. Let's talk about predictions here. Finish it off with the NBA Finals, bro. We're tied at 2-2. Golden State kind of has the momentum here. Games are kind of all right. I took Golden State in 5.
Yeah.
So
I took them in 6.
That's not going to happen. But I still think
6,
Golden
and
State's
they're up by 14 with under 2 minutes to play here. So
these games have not been very good.
No, not very much excitement going on. It's been a back and forth. At least Boston's been in it, right?
Yeah.
So, but this was their game to win, I guess, in the back and forth. But right now it's Golden State taking that one.
How's Draymond Green playing? Did he pick up his game since his mama called him out?
Well, he's struggled a little bit, right? Boston's played some good D on him. And
he has like 14 points, man.
Yeah. Well, he's nowhere to be found on this score sheet.
Oh, he's going 0, 0, 0, 0.
Nope.
Okay.
So 8 points. 8 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's more like
actually,
it. Yeah, I was about to go Sam Mitchell. Remember when he had that press conference? There's some guy in the stat sheets. They had 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Imagine that. Any quick news on the Jets coaching search, bro?
Barry Trotz still has not been hired yet. But Friedman is saying Trotz is going to start letting people know by mid this week to late week. So he's thinking that the Jets have been, this is what Friedman's saying, thinking that the Jets may be sending some smoke screens that they're not really sure about Trotz to throw people off the scent. So maybe the Jets still got a chance. Maybe. But we'll find out later this week, hopefully, because this is taking a long time, man. NFL hires their coaches the next day half the time. The NHL, what the heck? No one's hired a coach since the season ended.
Yeah, they wait to see which old recycled ones are back into the market so they can bring them back from the dead. I'm still waiting for the Pomo interview.
I'm surprised he hasn't interviewed anywhere, but the whole list of guys that are interviewing other places are all just retreads from other places. There's really no new names on this list at all. So
yeah, NHL culture is really going to change.
Yeah,
give me a break. I want to give a shout out to Jill Officer, who is taking over the position of Director of High Performance for Curling Manitoba. Most know her from her 6 Canadian championships, 2 world championships, and that gold medal in 2014 with the Jennifer Jones rink. So that must be a huge plus for Curling Manitoba. Yep. So shout out to Jill Officer, brother.
I'm gonna give a quick shout out to our old vice principal, Mr. Ron Ottawa, who is
shout out,
who is one of the officials of the Jets in the Jets games. I don't know. I can't remember what he does the penalties or whatever. He's in that box there, but he just got inducted into the Manitoba Hockey Hall of Fame in the official category. So
shout out to Ron Ottawa.
Yeah, good for him.
Sorry, Mr. Ottawa.
Yeah, Mr. Ottawa. Don't get that wrong.
Mr. Ottawa. Benny, you got anything to say to the people?
You know what? Thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe, follow, reach out to us, send us a comment. Anything you want, let us know how we're doing. Let us know if we're doing something wrong and you want something better or something you want us to talk about. Other than that, have a good couple days.
Yeah, you might want to DM Benny on what he's doing wrong. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that trash. And in the famous words of Yogi Berra, baseball is 90% mental and the other half is physical. Be kind, be safe, help each other out. Hey, friends and neighbors, don't forget to check us out online on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at Ray Benny Sports. And don't forget to check out our YouTube channel. Leave a like, leave a comment, tell us what you think.